always water, endless rolling blue, heaving under a sun that burns without mercy, then yielding to nights blacker than any sailor's nightmare. For weeks, the ship has chased a rumor across the Pacific that somewhere far beyond the reach of ordinary charts lies an island forgotten by time, a place where giants of stone stand guard over secrets too old and perhaps too terrible for mankind to recall. The first sign is the birds, strange black frigates that circle the mast in eerie silence, watching with eyes that seem to knowing. Then comes the scent, a tang in the wind that is not merely salt, but something richer, darker, like old earth turned after centuries. Finally, the lookout's cry breaks the silence, land ho. But Nui rises from the sea like the spine of some immense drowned beast. Ragged cliffs claw at the sky. The waves that crash against its flanks seem almost reluctant, whispering among themselves before breaking. As the ship draws nearer, even the most hardened sailors fall quiet. A few make nervous gestures of protection, crosses, amulets, muttered prayers. None of them notice the shadows gathering in the hold. The cargo shifts as though something inside has grown restless. Upon stepping onto the island, one immediately feels the weight of countless unseen eyes. The jungle, sparse and wine-bent, parts grudgingly for paths that lead inland. And then, without warning, they appear, the Moai. They stand in clusters or solemn lines along the ridges, their backs to the sea. Their hollow eyes turn forever toward the island's heart. Some are toppled, broken necks half buried in grasses. Others lean in odd angles as if straining to hear whispers carried by the trade winds. All wear the same expression, lips pressed tight, brows furrowed. Eternal contemplation or eternal disdain. A naturalist among the landing party takes out sketchbook and graphite. He tries to capture the slope of a Moai's cheek, the intricate curls of glyphs faintly etched along its weathered sides. But when he looks down at his page, he finds he has drawn not a face at all, but rows of staring eyes, each pupil a tiny open mouth, each iris swirling inward into a black void. His hand trembles. He tears out the page and lets it drift away. By dusk, the explorers make camp. The statues loom beyond the firelight. Someone attempts a joke. Best not to let them see you naked, lads, but laughter dies quickly. In the darkness beyond the circle of flames, something seems to shift. Branches crack, stones move where no foot treads. That night, one of the crew disappears. They find his patrol empty, his footprints leading toward a ring of Moai. And there, abruptly stopping. No drag marks, no scuffle, just silence. Days stretch into weeks. The expedition pushes toward Rararaku, the volcanic crater from which the Moai were born. Here, half-formed statues lie prone along the slopes, some still attached to the earth by their spines of stone, as if clawing their way out of a deeper realm. Local lore says these are the unwoken ones, not abandoned, not incomplete, but sleeping, waiting for a summons that may yet come when certain stars align. A guide, older than the oldest Moai, mutters in broken Spanish that each of these statues dreams. What they dream is not for men to know. If they should ever wake, will be because something has decided to walk the earth again, using these hollow vessels as the first steps. At night, the camp hears low groans, as if rock itself were mourning. Some swear they see movements at the edge of lantern light, a tilt of a massive head, a shiver along a stone shoulder. The air tastes wrong here, heavy with minerals and something subtler, a sweetness like rot. One evening, the party stumbles upon a hollow where ancient wooden tablets lie scattered, relics of the lost Rongorongo script. The symbols writhe across their surfaces like living things, curling into shapes the eye cannot quite hold. A linguist tries to trace a sequence of glyphs with his fingertip. Moments later, he reels back, clutching his head, whispering in a voice that is not his own. They drag him away, burning the tablet in a panic. The flames burst green, then gutter out, leaving nothing but a smear of black ash. That night, no one dares sleep. Somewhere out among the statues, a chant rises low and guttural in a tongue older than any remembered by living men. The islanders, when pressed for truth, will tell only fragments. Once, they say, the island was lush, a canopy of palms, birds that blackened the sky. But the Moai demanded more. Each new statue was a promise to the spirits, a guarantee that the ancestors would keep their blessings upon the living. So trees fell, canoes rotted on the shores, the birds vanished one by one. Then came the hungry time, but no way to fish the distant seas. Clans turned upon each other. Some feasted on bark and roots, others on less savory flesh. A song still sung by children in a sing-song barely above a whisper lists the parts of the body in order of tastiness. Those who survived built the final Moai, hoping to appease wrathful spirits with the last of their strength. Yet the statues only grew more numerous, their stone faces graver, their eyes deeper and more hollow. Some believe the statues ate their offerings in ways unseen, devouring spirit, will, even time itself. This is why the island stands so still, caught in an endless now. Nothing truly changes, and every shadow seems to wait for you to look away. Among the curiosities preserved in a Chilean archive is a battered leather-bound book, the Journal of Horace Bellamy, first made aboard the Hesperus in 1842. His entries are unremarkable until the ship anchors off Rapa Nui. July 17th, stepped ashore. Statues every which way, monstrous. Crew spooked. One sailor says he saw a mouth move. I cuffed him for drunkenness. July 20th, had the queerest dream. Was walking between the statues when they turned to face me all at once. Could feel breath like cold steam on my neck. Woke with hands around my own throat. July 22nd, crew refuses to go inland. Cattle on deck found dead, eyes gone. No marks of blade or tooth. How did it happen overnight? Found symbols on their hides, same as on the damn tablets. July 25th, ready to quit this place. Last night the statues sang "Da," not wind, not birds. A chorus that rose from the ground. Felt it in my teeth. Bellamy's final entry is a smeared scrawl that simply reads, "In recent decades, modern tourists have swarmed the island, selfies and sun hats among the somber stone faces. Some laugh, clamoring onto fallen Moai for photographs. Guides frown but say nothing. After all, the world demands spectacle. Yet strange incidents persist. Cameras fail. Batteries drain to zero. Watches stop ticking. Visitors vanish on solo hikes. Their bodies are seldom found, and when they are, eyes and tongues are often missing. Local authorities attribute it to sunstroke exposure accidents. Islanders whisper that the Moai are merely reclaiming what was promised long ago. One group of paranormal investigators set up infrared cameras among a ring of statues one night. Footage, when recovered, shows hours of nothing. Then, without transition, the statues stand in different positions, closer together, surrounding the equipment. The tape ends in a burst of static. If you stand alone among the Moai at midnight, some say you can press your ear to their cold surfaces and hear a pulse. Slow, relentless, a heartbeat in stone. Once, an old woman who had spent her entire life on Rapa Nui told a visiting ethnographer that each Moai was a kind of door. Some doors open outward, letting blessings spill forth. Others open inward, swallowing all they touch. How to tell which is which? She only smiled, a sad, toothless grin, and said, "By the time you know, it is already too late." And so the Moai remain, silent sentinels against sky and surf, dreaming their secret dreams. No matter how many books are written, how many documentaries filmed, something at the heart of Easter Island refuses to be laid bare. Perhaps it is a kindness. Not all doors should be opened, not all songs should be heard, and not all giants, no matter how long they seem to sleep, should be awakened. So if ever you find yourself beneath their impassive gaze as dust bleeds out across the ocean, remember to keep your voice low, your breath steady, your footsteps light, and above all else, if you hear them whisper your name, do not answer. For it may not be your name at all, but theirs echoing through your mouth, calling back across centuries, summoning the long slumbering host to rise once more.